All right, here we are. Hello, we are with Alvaro Contente in Chile. You are on vacation right now in a city. I will have you pronounce the name. What is the city you're in?
Iquique.
Iquique, but originally from Santiago, and we are welcoming you. I'm really excited. We're welcoming you as our Santiago correspondent at Pedestrian Space. And right now we are going to do a city walkability rating. So the city ratings are on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 the highest. And let's start with, we're going to do cycling, public transit, and walkability because you're an avid cyclist, correct?
That's
You like
right.
cycling. Okay. So what would you say for cycling for Santiago?
For cycling, I would say probably like a seven
Oh,
and a half, or
okay.
something like that. Yeah, compared to other cities that I've been, I think Santiago has a great, web of infrastructure. There's a lot of cycle paths. Some of them are of really good quality. Others obviously need to improve. There's obviously also something to say about access and different kinds of infrastructure for people that live in different parts of the city. Obviously, people that live in parts where of lower social economic status, they have less infrastructure, and I think that's something the city has to improve. We have like 30 municipalities in the city, and they all um, administer their own budget, and they are able to develop their own infrastructure and all that. So obviously, the ones that have less money, they cannot focus their efforts on that issues, and they have to take all their money to some things that obviously are more important, as education and health and all that. But overall, I would say a 7.
Okay.
That's like,
And you're moving around. Is that one of your primary modes of mobility, is cycling
yeah.
around the city? Yeah.
I don't have a car,
You
and I
don't have a car.
go everywhere cycling. Yeah,
Okay,
it's,
awesome.
well, obviously, it's also a matter of how well you know the city, and how much uh, comfortable you feel riding a bike. But a 7, I think it's what Santiago can have in that sport.
I'm curious, I've never been there. Is it a hilly city?
Yeah, we're like almost like next by the Andes. So if you want to go like east from west, or east to west, it's very hilly, and it's obviously more difficult, but it's doable. If you have the training, it's doable. Yeah.
Okay, and the passion
And the
and the
passion.
energy, that's great. Okay, how about public transit, rating the public transit?
Yeah, I would also say like a 7 or an
Okay.
8 maybe. Yeah, we have an integrated public uh, transport like network, where you can just pay like once if you want to take like first the subway and then buses. You just pay once with a card, and you can have like all the travels you want, or I think 3. That's the max number. But yeah, like the subway network is really big. It's expanding also. I worked there
Okay.
also for like
Okay.
4 years, and so I know a lot, I would say, about the network and about how it operates. And there's a really there's a focus on the government on expanding and keep expanding the subway network, and I think it's something that usually brings a lot of people are usually happy to hear the news of a new line being built. And yeah.
Okay, I look forward to seeing pictures of I love seeing pictures of metro systems, so I'm really curious to see pictures of Santiago's subway system. Okay, so last but not least, walkability of Santiago.
Walkability, I would say it's the lower score for Santiago, maybe a 5. or a 4. Something that I can tell you is that for sure in the past, obviously walking was more important than how it is today. And you can acknowledge that when you go to downtown, which is obviously the oldest part of the city. You see there a lot of big walkways. You see some streets that are close to cars are only for pedestrians. There's a network of galleries in the in downtown where if there is raining outside, you can travel the whole, I don't know, 50 blocks or maybe less, but I don't know, 30 blocks of the city, traveling through these galleries, which are also very, I don't know, interesting because there's a lot of commerce there, places to visit. So yeah, that part of the city, it's great, I would say, in terms of walkability. But then if you start moving out of downtown, it gets worse and worse. And there's, places as suburbs in the US where there's almost any walkways, you have to use your car or you are lost. So there's, I think, a lot of way to improve there. Yeah, also maybe something that I should also mention is that Santiago is a very hot city. We have like 200 days of sunny weather each year, and we need more trees. Where the country is running dry. The deserts are coming into Santiago because of climate change, and we need to have more trees for people to make it easier for them to travel by walking. And right now we don't have that, so it's also a problem I think that our leaders have to acknowledge and to do something about.
Okay, yeah, relates to a concept called tree equity, which I know some people doing research with, so it'll be really interesting to circle back later and maybe do some panel talks on this. So I'm glad you mentioned that. And I want to say congratulations, because you recently got your master's in public administration from Columbia. So you're living in New York City with your wife for a while. Congratulations. And I'm, again, just really happy to be welcoming you to the Correspondents Network as our Santiago correspondent.
Thank you, Annika. And yeah, I'm really grateful for this opportunity. I just want to, well, what I was telling you, I think getting to know each other and connecting with more people that know that walking is it's something that we should do. We should strive to make people do more often. We have to connect. We have to be a force who can, fight back to corporations and to, other powers that want people to use other kinds of transportation, usually private transportation. And yeah, we have to stay together and to work talking.
Right. And from our talk before we started recording, you also mentioned how you and your wife, you just love walking. So I always appreciate connecting up with people who are not only advocates, but actually they just they have the joy for walking. It's really important in my life too. So thank you very much for your time and welcome to the network. And I look forward to more communication and collaboration with you.
Thank you, Annika. See you.